Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining me for another of our Torah sessions. We'll start as usual by taking our news and putting it away. We can focus on some spirituality. We've got our Tanakh. I've got my kippot. I'm going to put on this blue one with Jerusalem on the side. My hair's starting to grow back, which is good. And I think this clip will actually work. Great. Okay, cool. So before we get started on our reading, we do a prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with the words of Torah. This week, the Torah portion called Korach, which is a very challenging Torah portion, and I think particularly relevant for now. I don't know if you guys ever went to summer camp growing up, but it is a pretty common summer camp Torah portion. It's why I'm very familiar with it. Here we go. Okay. Korach is the name of a person, and Korach is an Israelite who challenges Moses, who basically says to him, well, you'll see what he says, then we'll talk about it. All right. Now Korach took himself along with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, descendants of Reuben, to rise up against Moses, together with 250 Israelites, chiefs of the community, chosen in the assembly, men of repute. They combined against Moses and Aaron, and they said to them, "You have gone too far, for all the community are holy, all of them, and the Lord is in their midst. Why then do you raise yourself above the Lord's congregation?" When Moses heard this, he fell on his face. Then he spoke to Korach and all his company, saying, "Come morning, the Lord will make known who is his and who is holy, and who will grant him access to himself. He will grant access to the one he has chosen. Do this, you, Korach, and all your band, take fire pans, and tomorrow put fire in them, and lay incense on them before the Lord. Then the man whom the Lord chooses, he shall be the Holy One. You have gone too far, sons of Levi." That's that. So, it's an argument that escalates rather quickly. And to start, Moses clearly gets really riled up and angry because Korach says to them, them being Moses and Aaron, "You've gone too far." And Moses ends his tirade against them by saying, "You've gone too far." And I don't know if you've ever been in an argument with someone where they say, "Shut up," and you say, "No, you shut up." Or they say, "You're lying," and you say, "No, you're lying." And once you get into that kind of back and forth, you're not really having a conversation anymore. You're not even really having an argument. You're just yelling words at each other. And there's really no way to progress from that. And so while usually, and generally, Korach does challenge Moses, maybe there were better ways to go about it. Instead of riling up 250 people, he could have gone to Moses one-to-one and said, "I have a problem with what you're doing," and hopefully gotten some change that way. But I do think that Moses' reaction definitely makes the situation worse. And if you have some authority and someone comes and challenges you, you shouldn't react the way that Moses reacted. You should try to listen to them before you make a decision. That's really the problem that Moses has, is that Korach comes with his people and they yell at Moses, and Moses just says, "You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring our sacrificial fires, and we're going to make a sacrifice, and God's going to tell us who's right." And Moses really skips the part of the process where you listen to the other person and see what you can come up with, and instead just says, "Okay, then we're going to make a decision right now." And obviously, nowadays, there's a lot of disagreement going on in the world, and there's a lot of politicking, which is just politicians talking to each other, the people talking to the politicians and trying to get the change that they want. And that change doesn't come easily, even if we want it to, even if it's really obvious to us. The mechanisms of change don't come easily, they're very slow. And it is useful for us to remember that and to push for conversation rather than pushing immediately for change. Because if we push for change too much, then we might get a situation that we don't like. In the sense of Korach, the end result of that story is that they make their sacrifice, Moses makes his sacrifice, and then the earth opens up and swallows Korach and his followers, which obviously is a terrible resolution for them. They are all dead. So we don't want, in our fight for justice, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's efforts on climate change, whether it's tzedakah, any of that kind of social justice goodness, we want to make sure that we get the change that we want rather than just having our emotions drive us. And Korach lets his emotions drive him by making a big show against Moses, and Moses lets his emotions drive him by yelling at Korach and not showing leadership in that moment the way that he should have. So, that is some stuff to think about. You can think about how you can apply that in your political life. You can think about how to apply that in your everyday life. We're now going to listen to Debbie Friedman's Misha Berach. Again, this is a song of healing. And so if you know anyone who has coronavirus or is sick in other ways, I've been having a really sore throat recently, which, as far as I know, is not a symptom of coronavirus, but still is not comfortable, and I don't like it. So if there's any healing that you want for yourself or for someone else, or maybe you want some more metaphorical healing for your community or for your household, whatever, any of that stuff is good now. Let me just pull up the song. And here we go. Oh, there's an ad. Thank you for bearing with me. Here we go. Okay, great. Thank you all again for joining me. I hope to see you next week, even though, July 4th is on Saturday. So we're all set. Great. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you have any questions about the portion or anything else going on, feel free to email me at the Jewish Life account. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Bye.